What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. And as you can probably see from the title, I got some hands-on time with the Galaxy Z Fold 4, kinda, at Best Buy. Best Buy, if you didn't know, has out the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and Flip 4 for you to play with and get some hands-on time. And my Best Buy also had the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and Flip 4 on display for me to get some hands-on time with. And they also had the Galaxy Watch 5, but that's behind some glass casing, and the 5 Pro. And then also they have the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. Their Buds 2 Pro are not behind casing, but you can't take them out and put in your ears and listen. They're like glued to the table, so you can't. And when we go back to the Z Flip 4 and Fold 4, I could hold it, I could press buttons, I could close it, it was locked into the display in terms of me to be able to pull it in, but it was like connected to some wires. It was plugged in as if it was charging, but ultimately it was dead. For some reason, the thing they have it connected to, the little charging lock that they have it attached to, is dead. It's plugged in, but it's just not working. I don't know if it's just not plugged in in the inside of the display or not, but ultimately I couldn't turn it on, and it wasn't on. The battery was completely dead. I tried turning it on. So I ended up just taking some photos of the Z Fold 4 in my hand, and I kind of wanted to give you my first impressions and things that kind of stood out for me, even though it's not really a full, true hands-on video. So let's talk about the things that kind of stood out for me. The first one is, and again, the screen wasn't on, so maybe my opinions will change, but ultimately holding it in my hand didn't necessarily feel all that different to a naked Galaxy Z Fold 3. And I mean that in every sense of the word, have it be when it's completely open or completely closed. It just kind of felt very similar. Even though I know the Galaxy Z Fold 4 is shorter and fatter, it just, I don't know, it didn't feel that much different in my hand. So in that regard, there's not a lot to say for it. Also, since the Z Fold 4 was connected to this apparatus that locked it all in, I couldn't fully have it in. It added a lot of weight to the phone, so I couldn't be like, oh, you know what, this feels a lot different. So me saying, you know, it doesn't feel as different, it's not a fair fight, because it's locked in that apparatus, and then the screen's not turning on, and it's just not the full experience. The other part of it is the buttons on the side where you get your volume and your fingerprint. That did feel like it stuck out a little bit more, felt a little better to me, honestly. And maybe that's because the buttons are a little bit worn out on my Z Fold 3, because I've been using it day in and day out for a couple of months now because I got a replacement. But it did feel like I don't know, they just felt more feeling to it, more tactile, more sticking out more so than the Z Fold 3. So I did like that. I'm happy with the button layout. The other thing I noticed, I haven't really heard anybody talk about, at least from the coverage I've been seen anywhere, is on the bottom of the phone, unless I'm numbering wrong, the speaker holes, there's 11 on the Z Fold 4 and 10 on the Z Fold 3. And we've compared the Z Fold 4 and the Z Fold 3 sound a little bit through a video from Ice Universe, and the Z Fold 4 did sound better, and maybe that's part of it. It does have more speaker holes to put out more sound, so I was pretty happy with that as well. Also, when the phones are closed, I compared them at the bottom, and I know we've seen like the Z Fold 4 seemingly was a little bit more of a gap, but when I looked at it in real life, honestly, if you didn't tell me that was a Z Fold 4, I might not even notice. And just even with it closed, it didn't seem like a huge difference to me all that much. And then overall, in terms of the Z Fold 4, again, holding your hand, it didn't really seem that much of a difference overall, like I mentioned in the beginning part. And I think I really have to get some hands-on time with it when it comes to me in the next week or two. And I can obviously say, you know what, this does feel different, or you know, it does feel closer than I thought it would feel on there. I also checked out the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. Again, I couldn't hold them. I took some photos of them, and the case isn't as reflective as some of the newer ones that have been out recently on the Galaxy Buds 2 and the Pros. So if you want a more matte looking case, maybe you'll like that better on the Galaxy Buds 2 Pros. They do seem a little bit more substantial in terms of the design of them, if that makes sense. Again, I couldn't hold it, so they might not weigh more, but they did look more substantial. If that makes sense. It's tough to get a true gauge on that kind of stuff. But overall, I'm still excited about trying these devices. It makes me even more looking forward to actually having these phones turn on and getting a truer sense of what they feel like and act like as I get to know them. So if you've gone to Best Buy and tried out the Fold 4 or the Flip 4, let us know your feelings in the comments down below. If you agree or disagree with anything I said, also let me know if you've actually had some hands-on time with it. Have a great day. We'll see you down the road. Peace.